so I'm going to try to de-nerdify this a little bit from what I heard today. How many of you actually understand what a packet switch network is or an IP network? Ryan, you can raise your hand. But other than Ryan, okay, great. So we've got 4 people in here. What's your name, by the way?
Allison.
Allison? All right, Allison, I'm going to give you, your name is Allison, but your number is 3. I'm going to do some translation. What's your name?
Jerry.
Jerry, hand these out to the room. In the back, go through. So Jerry's handing out packets. All right? Everyone just take a packet. Go around, take a packet. And when I say, I'm going to tell you it's time to send Allison a message. And what we know is, we know Allison, www.allison.com, has a number, and it's an IP address, and I've decided her IP address will be 3. In fact, it's probably something like 192.168. Blah, 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 blah. But for today, Allison, you're 3. So, everybody start moving the packets towards Allison. Guys, just hand them through. Ah, good, see? You handed it to somebody else served as a node, other people are serving as a node. Boom. So Jerry was my telecommunications provider, right? And distributed packets got the message back to Allison. Allison, put them in order. What does it say?
Can I have your pen?
There you go. Can I? No, it's okay. So what we just did, I just used packets to deliver a message to her. And I didn't care who had it. My telecommunications provider, Jerry, put the message out there, and you all acted as nodes and connecting points to get the message to her. Now, when you hear these people talking up here about telecommunications and how do we move forward on it, I think there still is this understanding that instead of what you just saw, the telecommunications is this. That one-to-one, I hand her the same message. That there is this pipe going between us, a tube, so to speak, between Allison and me. And in fact, that's not the case. In fact, what you saw Jerry just do is in fact how things move forward. And here's the cool part. That includes for voice. Not just for stuff on your mobile app, but for voice communications. My voice is broken up into little tiny sections, into packets, that's sent throughout your entire world. It comes back to Allison. So when I verbally say to Allison on my phone, hey, Allison, can I have your pen? That just happened in this room all across the country. And I think it's really important when you hear the gobbledygook about telecommunications and IP switch networks and wireless transmission over wireline and lighting dark fiber, that ultimately what we're talking about is passing information from me to Allison in an efficient manner that utilizes resources in the smartest way possible. Because here's the crazy part. If I were to build a tube to Allison from me, one that was open and just for us to talk, it's incredibly inefficient. It's incredibly wasteful. You all did a perfect job of redistributing that information in an efficient manner rather than me assembling just one connection point over copper direct to Allison. So when we talk about why do we need telecommunications reform, why do we need all this stuff, well, what's going on? You heard Boucher talk about incentive auctions and making sure that we pay off the broadcasters, etc. What we're really trying to get to is a more efficient, cleaner way for me to say to Allison, can I have your pen? And whether it's over the phone, whether it's me texting her, whether it's me doing a video conference with her over FaceTime, the end goal is the same. What's the most efficient way to tell Allison that I want her pen? I don't really, but it's okay. So the practical implications of telecommunications reform is a more efficient delivery of simple messages. And you say, okay, that's nice. Now what do I do with that? Here's the part you need to think about. Most of you guys are young, but some of you probably know old people, like me. How many of you know somebody who's had a knee replacement? A grandma, grandfather, Allison, thank you very much. How many of you have had knee replacements? Randy, your knee still good?
Still good.
All right. The reality is now millions of Americans are getting knee replacement every year. Anyone know what the #1 determining factor of a successful knee replacement surgery is? Anyone? Anyone? It's not the surgery. Physical therapy afterwards. PT is the #1 determinant of an impactful and effective knee replacement surgery. All right. If you know old people, how often do old people like to get in their car and drive to go see a doctor and have somebody wrench on their knee for hours at end? They don't. They don't like to do it. So we in the tech industry said, well, instead of having to get grandma into the car and drive her to the doctor's office and sit in the waiting room and then wait to see a PT guy and have 30 minutes with the PT guy and then drive back home, How about if we could do it with a Kinect where grandma is sitting in her favorite chair in front of the Kinect, and there's a PT specialist watching her range of motion via biomechanics on the Kinect and say, good job, grandma. Go a little further this time, 1%. And you know what? I'll see you again tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day. So instead of having a PT appointment that you do once a week, you do a PT appointment every day. And remember, I said the number one determining factor for a successful knee replacement is PT. But guess what happens? Remember that efficient message I just passed to Allison about can I have her pen? Now imagine that I have to do a video transmission from the PT specialist at the hospital to grandma in rural South Dakota, and I need to have instantaneous frame rates, and I have to have delivery of analytics to know, did grandma actually go all the way to 110%? Well, all of a sudden, instead of having just one line on that piece of paper is going to be filled with data. And so we're packing that information pipeline. Instead of having 5 pieces of paper, I'd have to give every single one of you a phone book's worth of information to pass to Allison to deliver the same kind of information. And so the problem that we're facing right now is IP networks are an efficient way to pass information, but the more cool information we want to pass, the more we have to actually add packets. More information, phone book to each one of you. And so when you look at the impact of this in your congressional district, it isn't just watching Justin Bieber videos. It's actually the ability to change the outcome for your grandparents or for that athlete so that their ultimate success on whether or not they can walk around on 2 limbs was done because we could efficiently pass video information back to the PT specialist from grandma's favorite rocker via the Kinect to have an outcome where maybe when she wants to come and visit you, you don't have to put a wheelchair ramp up. And so when we talk about where we stand right now in the wireless spectrum space and we talk about how do we regulate IP networks, remember that what we are talking about regulating and what we are talking about finding a solution to is something that isn't just voice communications, isn't just text message. It is literally life-transforming information that I think we all know we need to do a better job with. And I will turn it over to Ryan, who will give us a bunch of statistics. But hopefully, we've gotten to the point now where you understand that it's a little bit bigger than just that telecommunications, voice communication that we all know and love.